Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulullah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My dear respected brothers and sisters in Islam and dear viewers, I welcome you once again to our journey on the subject of inheritance in Islam. Last lesson, that's lesson 1, we mentioned the verses regarding inheritance in Islam as contained in verses 11, 12, and 176 of the Holy Quran. There's verse 11. We mentioned that verse 11 pertains to children and parents of the deceased. And then verse 12 of Surah Al-Nisa, Judges chapter 4, pertains to spouses and maternal siblings of the deceased. That is, uterine sibling is the same as maternal sibling of the deceased. And then we said verse 176 applies to full and paternal siblings only. That is, full and paternal siblings of the deceased. We also mentioned the hadith of Ibn Abbas. The hadith of Ibn Abbas that says, give the fixed shares to their owners and whatever remains to the closest male relative of the deceased. Yes, this is the hadith of Ibn Abbas that says we should give the fixed shares to their owners and then whatever remains to the closest male relative of the deceased. We promise that we are going to extract the fractions that are contained in these provisions in the Quran. So we go ahead with that. We start with verse 11, that is Quran chapter 4, verse 11, that we say pertains to, that is for children and parents of the deceased. Allah started with ratio 2 to 1, that is, it says the male will have the portion of 2 females, that is male to female ratio, that is son to daughter. Two to 1. And then he said if there is only one daughter, there is one female, one daughter, she will be entitled to half, and 2 or more will be entitled to 2 or more daughters. 2 or more daughters will be entitled to 2 over 3. And then he says, as for the parents, each one of them, like father will be entitled to 1 over 6 if there is child. Likewise, mother will be entitled to 1/6 if there is child. And if there are no children, and then the parents are the only heirs that inherit the deceased, they said the mother will be entitled to 1/3. If there are no children, and then again, before we go to the next line, that this also include that there is either no sibling or just one sibling, not more than one sibling of any sibling of any kind, whether full paternal or maternal. Then the mother will be entitled to 1 over 3. Invariably, the father will take the 2/3. So, if the mother will come back to 1/6 again, if there is two or more siblings, even though the disease left no child, left no child. So this is verse 11. And Allah concluded that verse by saying that you don't know which one of them, either parents or your children, which one is closer to you in benefit. So, and these fractions are only assigned after fulfilling the legacies. You have the disease must have bequeathed up to the limit of 1/3, and then settling of the debts of the deceased before these fractions come in. So these fractions apply to the net. Then we come to verse 12. The verse 12 we mention that this pertains to spouses and maternal siblings. Allah started with that for the man, for his deceased wife, husband is entitled to half if the deceased wife left no child. Then the husband is entitled to 1/4 if the deceased left child. This child may be from this current marriage with the husband or previous marriage. And then it's for the woman, the wife or wives. In cases of wives, they share equally whatever fraction pertains to wife. In case of wife or wives, they share 1/4 if the man left no child. If no child, the wives again, or wife or wives, we share 1/8 if there is child. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala came to the case of Kalala in this very verse where he says, for the man or woman, if the deceased left a brother or a sister, each one of them, maternal brother. Here we're talking about maternal brother is entitled to 1/6. Maternal sister is entitled to 1/6 as well. And then if there is one maternal brother, one maternal sister, then if there are two or more maternal siblings, irrespective of gender, that is male or female, they share equally in 1/3. So for maternal siblings, we have the fractions 1/6 each, 1/6, 1/6, and then the highest they can have with the share equally is 1/3. So we are talking about the husband half, which is the maximum, and 1/4 the minimum, and then the spouse, the wife or wives 1/4 and 1/8. Then maternal siblings 1/6, 1/6 for the male or female, and 1/6 for the female as well, and 1/3 in case of more than 2 maternal siblings, they share equally in the 1/3. So this is about the provisions for verse 12. Then we go to verse 176, and we say this pertains to full and paternal siblings, that is siblings only. The case of maternal siblings or uterine siblings, as they are called, has been dealt with in verse 12. This is a case of Kalala here. For the maternal siblings, a case of Kalala there in verse 12 as well. So, and Allah says, if the man had a sister, full sister, one sister, we have half of the deceased man, Kalala, the whole of his entire estate. And then if there are two or more sisters, if he left 2 or more sisters, they share 2/3. And also, if the deceased in this case is a woman, then the brother will take, that is in case of a deceased woman, the brother takes the whole inheritance, the whole estate. This case, if there are brothers, then they share equally the whole of the estate. And then if there are brothers and sisters, that is males and females, brothers and sisters together that survive the disease, they share ratio 2:1. That is male to female, just like verse 11. In this verse 176, instead of sister here, we can have a paternal sister instead of full sister. And then instead of a full brother, we can have paternal brother. That is in the absence of a full brother. So in the absence of full sister, we can have paternal sister. So these are the fractions as contained in verse 176. So we've covered the fractions as contained in verse 11. Then we have verse 12. And then lastly, verse 176. So inshallah, we'll stop here. And then next lesson will be covering the potential heirs and then the list of residuaries. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala spare our lives till then and beyond. Amin subhanahu rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun.